matter what happens next, the galaxy still needs its guardians.
I feel like bittersweet is always going to be the theme when it comes to like the bow that I'm going to seal this whole Guardians of the Galaxy experience in my life. It has been a sweet journey. The fact that we were able to come back again, not just for 3 Guardians movie, but for also, 2 more Avengers movies. It always felt like a true gift that keeps on giving. I really feel grateful that James Gunn wrote the best Guardians of the Galaxy movie as the 3rd and final chapter. But I also miss pieces of Gamora as the Guardian. But I knew that my job was not to get in the way of who she was. So I really kept convincing myself that I was playing a brand new character.
I feel so grateful that I get this character that's just gone on such an emotional evolution. I mean, the first time we met her, she was this bitter, twisted, angry person that we actually didn't really like in the first film. And then we gradually kind of empathized with her and realized, oh, you're coming from this perspective. And we started to like her more. And now that Thanos, her father, has sort of been eliminated from her life, she is able to kind of become the person that she should have been, with the ability to accept love and feel like she's worth loving and show other people love. And so it's been an amazing evolution. There's
so
nothing
cool.
cooler than shooting those scenes. They blast the rock music, you walk in line and they're filming you, and it's like, oh, we're never gonna be cooler than we are in this moment.
Well, I've always thought that Rocket is at the center of our story. I think that the story is Rocket's story, and this is all about Rocket from the beginning. And I think we see why in this movie and where he's going and where he came from and how he affects the rest of the characters. He was the one that got me into this from the very beginning. When I first decided to do this project, it seemed goofy to me at first, and then I thought, okay, well, if there's a raccoon that's talking and walking around, how did it come to be? And as I started to think about that, I thought it was a very, very sad, heartbreaking story about where he came from, how he was turned into something he wasn't supposed to be. And so that's what really got me into the series to begin with.
You can point to stories that have been told in cinema regarding profound loss, death. You lose somebody and you have to learn to move on or not. And there's a number of great stories that have been told in that way, but never, as far as I know, has there been a story of someone who's mourning the death of somebody while looking directly into the eyes of the person that they're mourning the death of. And because the person is not literally dead, it's hard to move on if there's the hope that maybe she could come back into the fold, that maybe she could learn to love Peter again, that maybe we could create this amazing shared experience that would allow us to fall in love again. Because of the events of Avengers, we're presented with the opportunity to explain and to explore that story. It's heightened in its reality. It's truly sci-fi. What if that were to happen? What if the person who you loved died and came back a different person who didn't know you? What would it look like? How broken would you be? She was saved by our love just as much as I was. And so that's really special, beautiful, painful.
It was fun. It was fun to get into sort of like the meat of that relationship. And it's difficult. It's difficult to come back a 3rd time and revamp something or freshen it up, when it's always been sort of like a little bit of the same. By Gamora being of another multiverse, it gave James Gunn the opportunity to start their journey from a different zero, a different beginning. She doesn't remember anything because she lived through nothing. She has this feeling. And that's very confusing for her. So it was really fun to get into that.